Welcome back, everybody, to the 2024 Collegiate League of Legends Championship, brought to you by Salty Runback. We're going to get one salty game five here, boys.
Oh, yeah.
UST led 2-0 in this series. We knew Maryville was not done, but they have come back and fought as hard as they can and have brought it to a game five, looking to be the third ever reverse sweep in Collegiate League of Legends history. I mean, history has been made this entire tournament, guys, and I am so happy that I get to share it with you, and everybody gets to witness these games, because remember, these games may not have been viewable at one point in time. Odd Orange, I'm going to go to you first, because Maryville once again coming out strong, even with the lane swap that left Niles at level 1. It didn't matter, man. They were just going and going and going.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see ever since they lost that second game that they decided, you know what, guys, we're not going to let ourselves lose with some scaling weak comps. We're really going to bring the fight to UST. And that's definitely what they've done games 4 and 5. I mean, what more could we ask for? You know, game 5, winner gets to go to LAN, gets to play in the finals guaranteed. I mean, this is a very exciting game 5, and I hope both teams bring their best and are aggressive with both their comps. I think UST might have to look at the potential of banning that Azir or banning that Varus. I'm excited to see what their adaptation is going into game 5.
Yeah, fully agree with that. I think the Varus has been a huge issue. And Odd Orange, you talk about this LAN as well for these teams. It's worth noting that here in 2024, only the top 2 teams get to go to LAN. So this is the first ticket that gets punched today. Only 2 teams get to do so. So for both these teams, in a way, the stakes are higher than what it used to be when, 8 teams used to make it to LAN. And then on top of that, the fact that these are the 2 arguably most successful teams in CLOL, right? The 2 of the only 3 teams that have ever won it twice. And they're battling out here. It's for pride as well for these teams. I don't care that they get a second shot. Like, that's for later. Right now, whoever wins gets bragging rights until grand finals happens. And there's a chance as well. Hey, Slew's waiting in that lower bracket. Northwood is making a Cinderella run in that lower bracket. Whoever loses here still has some tough matches to come through too.
Yeah, it's going to be super difficult, right? I mean, Northwood has been the surprise of the tournament, I would say. Slew feels like they're just not playing up to snuff, really, but that can change at any time. Do not want to be the one who falls here and has to go through that rigorous match to punch your ticket to LAN. You want to get the job done. Now, Odd Orange, you said you want to see something a little bit more aggressive out of UST as you take a look at our bracket overview and remember who teams have to go through. The team that loses here, who they will have to face. What more can you really do at this point? It just felt like they had the aggressive picks, but they just didn't execute on them. RMC and I were talking about this Vi Ari combo. The one time you saw it happen, Niles was able to flash away.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're going to want to, if you're playing UST, it's more so the Varus is something that I don't necessarily want to see them UST giving Varus and playing a Philios Jinx lane. I think, what game did Array play the Varus? Was that game 2? Array played Varus one of the games.
Game 1.
Game 1.
So UST has, opted into blue side. I think a potential they could do is first pick the Varus.
Yep.
And that way you don't have to drop a ban on it. Maybe you could spare a ban on Azir. Interesting to see the Tristana banned in the 1-2-3 from USC.
Yeah, I guess they don't want to risk Spyrex getting hats on that again because it was very effective individually. It was more a team issue, right? And with the comms having cleared up as well, I kind of agree with that. I don't think you want to give them another marksman. Odd Orange, you're talking about Varus. I want to talk about the bot lane a little bit as well because last game they blinded the Cassante as red 1 for the side of UST. So I like the fact that UST have opted for blue side now because if you are going to blind anyways, then it kind of doesn't matter when you're picking that Cassante. The Varus, the bot lane, the carry lane becomes much higher priority, and the Varus that you're talking about as well, you can almost force Maryville to ban it or else.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see if Maryville's going to keep that Skarner ban. I assume they will.
Yeah, we haven't really seen UST play too much Skarner, and what I'm also curious about is this final ban. It's going to be the Maokai coming through, so I mean, UST, if they do not first pick Azir, they are liable to give that over to Maryville. Spyrax has performed very well on.
Yeah, I'd expect to see a first pick Azir or a first pick Varus from UST.
You only get to pick for sure. You only get to block one of them. I think the Varus is higher prio. I think Azir has not been really being picked that early on anyways. You could ban it second phase. I don't think the Azir is worth. Yep.
Yeah, it is the Varus. Okay.
All right. Yeah, we're going to see Varus locked in going over to Array. Got the job done in a Game 1 victory, but for UST, that feels like a lifetime ago. Since then, they have won a game and then lost the next two, and we are seeing Kalista getting locked in for Scary Jerry. I imagine Renata will not be too far behind.
See that I love that from Maryville. I mean, it's not the hardest read ever to anticipate a first pick Varus from UST, and they're immediately slamming a very, very, very strong bot lane. I love it.
Yeah,
actually.
And you almost have to pick the Ashe here, right? If not, you get the Ashe Varus lane into the Kalista. That's a nightmare situation. So Maryville, they know what they're doing with this one. It's probably not going to be the Renata, but that's a really obnoxious lane for Varus to deal with. Now they've got poke, they've got the slow, and the Ashe Kalista means they can run you down. If you're a Nautilus coming through for Trevor, if you miss that hook, I don't know if you're going to be able to get out the other way.
This does mean that UST is almost forced to lane swap. But the problem is, if you do that, you allow priority for Kalista and Ashe to take down these turret platings. You're really in a bad spot. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's really problematic, and now with the Azir coming through for Maryville, I mean, they have so much potency in these first 3 picks.
Yeah, it's troublesome as well, because even if you take away the Jarvan, probably one of the strongest, stronger early game ganking junglers, there's still plenty of picks for Yuji to play that can match a Jarvan's early game. You got the Xin Zhao, you could even play Sejuani, you could play Lee Sin. Yeah. All 3 of those champions will be able to stick to his team's aggressive style. Like, they have aggressive mid, aggressive bot. And the Poppy. Wow, they're actually going to push back on Poppy as the first ban.
I'm actually really curious. If we're banning the Poppy, because I assume that's more of a Niles ban coming through on that Poppy. What are we looking for in maybe a top lane or the mid lane that requires that much mobility? I mean, Ahri's still on the table. Poppy does decently into it. I don't think she's a hard counter. And for your top side, if you're doing it for the top side, are we looking for like Jax? Like, I'm trying to think of what top laners would not want
I think it's partly for the it's a good matchup into Jarvan as well, and then Maryville can pick it on 4 and hold the flex to 5. I think they should pick Xin Zhao here. Yeah, I like Xin Zhao for Maryville.
Seems solid, and
good call.
We will see it get locked in here. So Xin Zhao gonna have some really aggressive lanes to work with here. They're gonna hand counter pick over to Niles on top of it if they want to give him a counter, if they want to give him a tank, some engage. We're going to see Ornn come through, first Ornn of the series. Really like this pickup for the side of Porsche. Going to be very impactful.
Wait, is that locked in? He locked in Ornn?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Gwen's still up?
Gwen is still up.
Isn't Gwen great here? Into other champions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's 100%. Pretty good.
I think he'll just run back to Gwen, but let's see what he digs up.
Yeah, or if you want to run like something like a Camille, I think that would work too. You can punish the Ahri with that pick as well. Try and lock down. But the point is, there's so many options here for Niles to pick up, and he's going with the Gwen. Orange, I guess you know him best.
Did they not see the Gwen in game 3?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It makes a lot of sense. Now, the question that I have is, does this mean that Maryville is lacking a little bit in the utility department, right? You do have the Ashe. You do have some ability to get your Ashe out if they want to play up and try to land slows, but that's really all you're talking about here. I mean, it's got to be Spirax landing these Emperor's Divides. Other than that, I mean, Maryville has very little in the way of CC. I question how they're going to enable this Gwen.
Okay, go ahead, Orange.
Okay, so I've seen Niles so many times. If he gets fed on this Gwen, he will just flank and initiate. He's just going to literally, or he'll just run at them and shoot his R. Like, he will... That is what he loves to do on the Gwen. And also, it's just like, I don't think they need so much setup when they can just play through bot side and probably stack dragons. What's really going to be important is how the 3v3 bot side goes, I think.
Well, we will see how this bot side goes. What a crazy team put together by Maryville. Exactly what they would want. Spirax gets his champion again. Scary Jerry is going to be on a priority champion. Thank you very much, Odd Orange. We will see you after this game. It is the final game of our best of 5. Maryville University looking to do what colleges before them have, another reverse sweep in this tournament.
And right now, UST looking for the flag. Maryville don't know. But UST should be aware. I think that Porsche actually did spot out multiple members in their own jungle. So the ambush has been set. Will they pass like ships in the night?
Minions have spawned.
If they collide like a Titanic in the iceberg. Is everybody on UST is ready?
Oh,
Up on Yuji. They're going to throw everything they got at him. First blood goes to Kenvi.
Okay, and if we're looking for somebody on UST to try and make this uneven, to stop Niles from scaling up, I am looking at Kenvi still. It has been the engine for this UST, and he ain't just the oil. He is the actual engine for this team trying to make action happen. There's a bit of milling around as well while people are trying to figure out where we're going. Niles doesn't want to be put into the 1v2 lane, has just realized that Porsche showed up.
Niles is going to try to chase down Kenvi with the Ghost active, so he's going to be able to get at least some damage in. One thing to note is no summoners were burnt for UST in that engagement, but now we might see a summoner burnt very soon because Niles is sticking on to Kenvi, forcing him away. He's on wards as well.
But he doesn't notably get the kill. Kenvi didn't even have to burn Flash, so a bit of a slowdown for Kenvi, but I'm not sure how significant that was, and it does come at the expense of some of that first wave. Porsche able to kind of just soak up that CS, and I'm not sure how many minions Niles ended up actually dropping trying to chase Kenvi out.
Well, with that little speed bump, that means that Kenvi's going to have a harder time trying to gank, and you can already see Yuji is making a beeline toward Kenvi. Spirax with priority. Kenvi is about to run out of places to go. He doesn't even see Yuji coming. He'll be able to take him out. He'll claim the blue buff for himself, and a huge turnaround for the jungler of Maryville.
The theme of today, Yanni, has been one of kings battling out, and Yuji just committed regicide. Or is he just a prince? Was Jarvan a full-on king, or is he just a prince?
I think he's... I can't remember. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. After this game, if UST wins, he might be a king no matter what. But to be honest with you, I'm blanking on it right now. I think it's Prince Jarvan the fourth, but who knows? Hey, listen, there's that one theory that Jarvan is actually LeBlanc, but we have bigger fish to fry in this game, as Yuji is now living in the jungle of Kenvi. There's so much for Yuji to still take on his side.
It is, and the problem is, sure, you got first blood onto Yuji, but you didn't get to spend right away. Now you've got the longsword, so at least you can kind of chase him out. But Yuji took great advantage of the fact that, hey, I got the later kill, your death timers are longer, and I'm in a bit better position to invade and kind of take away more of your buffs. And on top of that, what that does, Yanni, is also give Scary Jerry and Zyko the extended 2v2 bot lane, right? Kenvi is now set behind, Yuji is in the area, and that Kalista Ashe bot lane is the bot lane that was meant to smash. So far, it hasn't done so. Array has been doing a great job catching CS, but that lane doesn't get any easier anytime soon.
Kenvi is here to cause some problems for Yuji. Smite goes down. I believe Kenvi got credit for that one. Yuji trying to chase him down. Zyko is in the area trying to get a slow. Robbie Bob is the first one to move. Flash knocked up. Kenvi survives.
UST still looking though. Trevor wanting that hook.
Charm lands, knock up follow through, and Yuji will fall. Robbie Bob gets the kill. Zyko forced to flash and heal as the temperature is getting turned up in the bottom side of the map.
I love how scrappy UST is right now. Okay, sure, Yuji, you come in and steal my stuff. I will kill you. I will take your life. Array, did he get caught out? He's
Could be. Scary Jerry's level 4. Keep that in mind. Cleanse goes down onto the CC and the Ignite as well. Array is continuously getting slowed. Scary Jerry trying to get to him, but has to kite it back and is now going to focus Trevor as he's trying hard to get away. He's forced to flash. Scary Jerry following him up, and it's going to be Zyko who takes down Trevor.
Remember what we said earlier, Yanni. If Nautilus misses one hook, you're out of position. You're dead to rights. Flash won't save you from this eternal rundown in such a long place. And granted, Trevor didn't miss hook necessarily, but he was just in too deep, trying to save his AD carry. And hey, good support play, but it does cost you your life.
Yeah, well, sometimes if you try to land a hook onto somebody and get a kill, and you fail to get a kill and you die, it's worse than a miss. You know, you could count that as a miss, but it's like a quarterback throwing an interception instead of just an incomplete pass. It is not where you want to be. And right now, I don't know if either of these teams are where they want to be because the game state feels so strange right now. Robbie Bob's got to be feeling good.
Yeah, I think Robbie Bob doing a fine job right now, considering how a lot of the mid lane has been going, and Spyrax once again on that signature Azir of his, absolutely popping off. I think Array's going to feel really good about himself. It's actually up CS after everything that happened down there. Again, Trevor's sacrifice really paying dividends, but these junglers just do not stop.
No, they do not like each other. You can tell. Yuji is taking a little bit of damage from the grubs, but Kenvi will be able to get the honey fruit to heal up some. Niles is on the way down. Array and Trevor have moved up, so could be a chance to lay a trap. Porsche can't quite land the knockup. They do force the ghost out of Niles.
Getting a bit of flashbacks to game 2 when UST won that game. I remember Odd Orange was saying that one of the things he really liked that UST was doing in the early game was rotating all 5 members around. And we're seeing that again, right? Array and Trevor both called up to this Void Grub. And we're just talking about Array getting a lead in lane somehow, despite having such a tough time in the 2v2 situation. So, sure, he ends up giving Scary Jerry, you know, some free CS. But Array's still ahead when all is said and done. Rotating to that top side, just picking up that CS right from the get-go.
They're doing a good job there of making sure he stays ahead. And they've, aside from the assist, I hesitate to say neutralized is the word. But right now, this Kalista is not having the impact you'd expect. The entire UST squad up on the top side, taking great advantage of those 3 grubs. We'll see if Psycho and Scary Jerry are looking for a little bit more.
Yeah, they got 2 plates. I think that's they're fine with that particular trade there. And meanwhile, Yuji does pick up the dragon. Oh, I love the thought from USC to try and set that ambush. But Zyko's spider senses were tingling. Immediately drops the hawk shot, will spot them out, and just, you know, kind of slowing things down. Again, if they can catch out anybody here, that could be huge.
They're not going to be able to catch out Psycho because Scary Jerry will be able to pull him back in. So just wasting more time on the side of UST. That is 3 members on the top side of the map that are just stuck there.
Yeah, Kenvi unfortunately keeps falling further and further behind. Niles, again, we didn't talk too much about the top laners, but I think Niles will be pretty happy, pardon me, into this 1v1 matchup into the Ornn. Early on, Ornn can still match up. I mean, there's the reason why there's the meme that he's, you know, a fighter, bruiser, tank, assassin, mage. He'll do everything and anything. So Porsche doing a great job so far in the early game, but Niles doesn't care. Niles doesn't want to kill you early. Niles just wants to scale on this Gwen.
Yeah, you saw what happened last time when he scaled. Array going wide, Trevor going wide as well. Missed opportunities will haunt you, but with Yuji in the wings, maybe UST was better served to miss those skill shots.
Yes, Trevor doesn't have depth charge yet either, so again your CC is largely the hook and then the auto after that. With Yuji waiting the wings, that hook could have spelled death. The vision in this 2v2 situation has defined a lot of how things go, and even now, they still don't want to give this up. I think the next thing that's going to define this 2v2 matchup is which support hits 6 first, because that should be the initiate that both of them are looking for.
Well, it might not just be that. It might be what's going to happen here, because Yuji is in hot pursuit. Trevor able to Hex Flash over the wall. And once again, these teams going tit for tat, but no kills quite yet, aside from our early ones.
And not for lack of trying. Both these teams keep trying to set up ambushes. They're calling in ganks left and right. Kenvi just barely fails to stop the back from Yuji, but there is a chance. Can they stop this from coming through? Again, seconds! Maryville, all their recalls just came in fractions of seconds away from being cancelled.
Movement is sometimes called the most OP thing in League of Legends. And if, you know, Jarvan had 5 more movement speed, that might be a kill. Instead, able to escape with their lives. Niles continues to just farm with Porsche, and while they're even, you have to say that is a victory for Niles, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And now, skill is going to be interesting this game, because I'm going to talk about skilling a little bit, Yanni, because hey, we're not seeing too many kills happen in the early game. We're not seeing big leads open up between either of these teams just yet. And Maryville, we talked about that Gwen pick up, that last pick that shocked all of us. You know, Odd Orange, you could see, it was like, did they just forget about the Gwen from the side of USC? It is almost like a Thanos pick in this draft. Spyrax gets this year, both skill really, really well. But the Kalista and Ashe for Maryville will probably start to fall behind a little bit. And UST does still have Ornn with the Masterwork items to come through. So skilling favors MU, but it's not like UST don't have tools on their side. I think the bigger issue for me is actually going to be how these team fights break out and the AoE chain that a J4 and Ornn can put out together. So I'm not too worried about UST not making early action happen with this J4 and Ari, I think it does still favor Maryville, but it's not a game over state, and the teams are still actively looking to try and make things happen. Even now, you see them kind of posturing around these second set of void grubs.
Typically in Game 5's RMC, the teams play much more reserved and with a lot more care than they may have in prior games. And you can see this chess match, both of these teams feeling each other out. Grubs is going to get started up by USD. They're going to secure the fourth one, and it looks like they're ready to let it walk away. Niles, though, on the bottom side, continuing to push and collect plates.
That's for Void Grubs for USC. They don't have to go for more anymore if they just want the Void Mites. That's it. I'm actually not super happy with that call from USC. You called Porsche to move up, and that gave that free plate over to Niles. And then now you're kind of sending them back. It's a plate for 2 Grubs, and you didn't. And yeah, I don't know. I think I prefer Porsche just hard commit to that, take the Void Grubs, and then kind of look to try and leverage that for more plates later on.
Maryville will pick up 2 grubs for themselves, so not a whole lot, but certainly gives a little bit of extra kick to champions like Niles and Spirax when they eventually start split pushing more. So something to certainly watch out for, as the teams are still dead even right now, and a dragon up in about 15 seconds. RMC, do you see this changing? Because it looks like Kenvi has just picked up his Sundered Sky and he's headed toward the bot side.
Yeah, both junglers with their first completed items. Nobody else quite there yet. But yeah, Yanni, I do expect to see some changes come through because teams are dead even. Dragon is spawning, second Drake. Both teams are kind of in position to look for this fight, and both teams, again, have their strengths, right? We talked about the AoE wombo combo that can come through J4 and Ornn. On the side of UST, you add Chains of Corruption on top of that. And Robbie Bob did just actually pick up his Malignance as well to match Nash's Super Spirax. MU have their bot lane, which so far has not panned out, right? The Kalista Ashe do not have a lead in their lane whatsoever, and I feel like when you've got this bot lane, there's no reason why you don't win every early game fight. MU need to start leveraging this strong bot lane before they start to fall off a little bit.
I give a lot of credit to the UST bot lane. They played it quite well. Kenvi being up on the top side prevented a lot. Enchanted Crystal Arrow going down as Trevor is going to be the target. He is going to flash away. Chains of Corruption is going to go out as well. Turnaround hook lands on the UG. He's going to get knocked up. Trevor, though, doesn't have a lot of people around. Teleport's coming in. Kenvi trying to get in there, but Trevor is cut off and in a lot of trouble. First person is Robbie Bob to get in. Good flash on the chart. Spirax is here. Scoops Kenvi, and Robbie Bob is forced away. Trevor is low. Kenvi is low. Trevor will fall. Array's got no mana, and he gets knocked up. He's forced off to the side. Robbie Bob is losing the fight to Spirax, and Array is able to get 2 kills before he falls. But now it's Niles here, pushing down onto Porsche. He is pushing P right now, and he will take him down. A double kill for Niles. So much goes to Maryville.
They get the dragon to boot as well. Niles literally had to chase down Porsche. He had to cut off any hope of USC using a TP to stop this dragon from coming through. And Yanni, we knew, we said these teams were looking to scrap. They were neck and neck, and Maryville are the first ones to land a significant blow. They are up gold, they are up strength, and I am worried now because Maryville, out of all teams, knows how to blow these leads open.
It is crazy. I was surprised to see Trevor go and hook Yuji in a 3v2. I think he thought Kenvi was nearby. UST going to try to make a quick play here onto the Rift Herald, but Yuji is on the way. Spirax is on the way. Scary Jerry and Psycho are already here. Teleport's coming in from Niles as well.
There.
3,000 gold. Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands onto Trevor, but they're going to get on top of Psycho and be able to blow him up. But now Trevor's going to be traded in kind. It's Kenvi who's forced away. The Rift Herald will reset, which I think favors Maryville here. Robbie Bob inclined to use those charms. He will get it down, and Yuji will fall. Array on top of Scary Jerry, looking for gold, but it's Niles who does a lot of damage, forcing him away, charging up this arrow. Charm going down to Spirax. He gets chunked out. He's really low. Array goes down, but it's Robbie Bob who's still doing more. Porsche is very low. Robbie Bob's got cooldowns, and he misses the charm. He can't land it. Scary Jerry's hopping around, taking him out with the martial poise. And Maryville University win fight after fight, objective after objective, and are looking for another reverse sweep to be had in the CLOL Championship.
Maryville is coming online as a team when it matters, Yanni. They were not happy that UST started this 2-0, and they are punching back. Niles coming online. Scary Jerry coming online just when it matters as well. They're finding kills. They're finding the advantages. And for UST, it's a little bit scary. You just lost 2 back-to-back fights. Maryville gets that second Drake. They get Herald to boot. And the Herald's huge for Maryville. On a team that knows how to really blow up the mid-game to get those advantages, we've already seen them have really good rotations, lane assignments. The Herald just gives them that much more leadway and that much more damage to the turrets.
It's a 3,000 gold lead for the side of Maryville right now. UST still with a bit of an advantage here. Want to make something happen. There's the Hex Flash. Call the Forge God going to go down.
Okay.
They're going to make a big play onto Scary Jerry here. And the shutdown will go over to Kenvi.
Nice. UST just had to make something happen right now. They're burning the ultimate. There's no... You're not too worried about using that ultimate right now. There's nothing to fight over. Conversely, though, there's also nothing for UST to take. They get the pick on the mid lane. They're not going to be able to push in. So that's more just a statement kill from UST saying, hey, we're still here. Hey, we're still looking to make action happen.
Niles is going to drop the needlework on top of Robbie Bob. Charm going to go down, but Robbie Bob has put himself in a bit of a corner. Last needlework doesn't fully land. Nothing more for now.
Zyko and Yuji waiting in the wings. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is once again available. Robbie Bob has no ultimate, but it doesn't look like Maryville want to commit to this too much. The teams both are well and truly alive. 2 minutes before Dragon spawns, Yanni. And normally I'd just say, okay, I guess we wait 2 minutes to see a team fight. But these teams are really, really active, and I expect to see at least one more skirmish before that happens. Maybe just over vision on that bot half of the map.
Yeah, lots of pick potential for both of these sides, RMC and UST. I think they want to get at least 1 or 2 more to kind of get some momentum back for them. Momentum is a very big thing, especially in a 5-game series, in a series where UST had all the momentum going up 2-0 and now really doesn't have any of it and is struggling to try and fight their way back, but still only down about 2,000 gold. They've closed that gold gap as much as they've been able to with only 1 kill. Give them a lot of credit in this game. The pressure is on.
2,500 gold between these two teams right now, and the teams have been playing very well around their item power spike, so we've not really seen the gold disparity kind of matter for anything. And also with the pick potential as well, I really appreciate the fact that Trevor's just throwing out hooks basically on cooldown, because if you land it with the Ari as well, the single target burst is pretty high. It's better than the Ari Vi combo. We saw Arrow lands.
Crystal Arrow lands right on top of Kenvi. He's going to have to try to get out. He'll flash away, but Spirax will slide in and take him down. Charm coming back on the Spirax. He's low, but he's still okay. Robbie Bob, 2 charges left in the back pocket. He's going to look to take out Spirax. He can't quite do so, but the rest of UST is here. Ray and Trevor not really interested in fighting.
And meantime, now it's a split pushing. Yeah, Dragon's about to come up in 30 seconds. Some of those ultimates that did get burnt right there might matter. For Maryville, it's only the Enchanted Crystal Arrow with an incredibly short cooldown. For UST, though, yes, Spirit Rush is a very low cooldown, but I don't know if it's short enough at rank 1, and Cataclysm is not that short. So Maryville should be able to get to that Dragon, set up a little bit better, and going for Soul Point, I'm a bit worried that USC might not be able to contest this properly, especially not into a Xinjiao Callista.
Yeah, they're very late to it as well. They have no vision whatsoever. It's Soul Point. It's Infernal Soul Point as well. Yeah. That is something that is so hard to overcome, the raw power that you get. We'll see if Kenvi fancies himself a potential steal. Spirax is here. Teleport coming from behind. Call the Forge. Gotta go land. Spirax is able to dodge it out. Teleport through here for Niles. He looks to lead the charge. Needlework coming out on the side. Kenvi's got to go over the wall. Array is stuck. Great block there by Porsche, but that means that his goose may be cooked. Good ultimate there from Array to try to turn it around.
Robbie
the Chains of Corruption. Robbie Bob on the side, but it doesn't look like UST will be able to get any kills.
When all is said and done, Maryville will just pick up the Dragon for free and get out. And this feels like the story of this game so far, Yanni. It's so incredibly tense and tight. It's on a knife's edge between both these teams right now. I can't believe nobody dropped, and here might be the kill.
Great dodge there from Robbie Bob. Spirax will fall. Teleport coming in from Porsche to try to back up the rest of the squad because Robbie Bob's very low. Charm going to land, but it's Psycho on the side who's able to take care of Robbie Bob. Porsche is going to be the next target, and Scary Jerry is chasing down Kenvi. He will rip him to shreds and take him out. Porsche is tanky, but there's plenty of members here, and the numbers game is just too big for Maryville University right now. They are up 4,000 gold. The whole world is in their hands.
And UST, they just get a little bit too impatient. They make the play first, but they didn't have full vision. Niles might have overstayed.
They're going to have to make this play on the Niles real quick, and it's going to be a shutdown going over to Array. The last bastion of hope. A ray of hope, one might call it.
That Ray of Hope is doing real well right now with the kills. 5, 2, and 3. Array genuinely is a monster, and scaling as well. Let's not forget, Array has always been a teamfight monster. Last game, or pardon me, not last game, the game before that, I think, with the Aphelios, where he was just flashing in, trying to carry the game. This game is not a terrible position necessarily for UST right now. They're down 3,000 gold, but they are still in it, and they're still being competitive. The problem just feels like both teams are not necessarily playing the timer. So USC, you know, they kind of force that fight, but then they overextend, and Maryville are able to punch back. But Maryville gets to do that because UST tried to force the Dragon when they weren't in position. These are the narrowest of mistakes right now, which are defining these fights.
I think the biggest problem RMC is that UST has had no answer for the Gwen. The only answer they've had for the Gwen has been Gwen overextended. And that was the reason why they were able to take out Niles.
True.
And unless you cook up something else, catch them by surprise. They did that in the last game at one point in time in a fight near Dragon. They need to do something very similar this time around. It's got to be the first one. Psycho moving forward into Fogabor. He gets chunked out by Robbie Bob. Yuji there to make sure he stays upright.
That does mean Maryville, they weren't really looking at Baron anyways, but it does mean that Zyko kind of has to step away from that area. And Robbie Bob didn't burn anything to make that happen. Keep that in mind, because as we continue going on, Zyko is going to get squishier and squishier. Now is able to take the outer top turret. And something we kind of didn't note earlier, Yanni, mid outer turret did also go down in a lot of the skirmishing that was happening around that bot side. So Maryville is trying to open up the map and pushing UST's vision control and minion control back a little bit.
It has been very much in control of Maryville University. 1 minute and 45 seconds till this next dragon spawns. That is going to be the one to watch for RMC. UST needs to find a way to win a fight, get it done. As you mentioned earlier, Maryville plays very tightly with a gold lead. They just clamp down on it and don't let go. And I love the use of vision here.
I'm just trying to make sure right now that Maryville isn't sat on this Baron, isn't trying to sneak it away, especially with the Callista, with the Gwen as well. 2 full items completed. Spyrax has the Andries as well as Nashers. They can absolutely shred any of these objectives they want to go to, and that's why you see Maryville, they keep playing around this Baron.
Kenvi, you got to be careful there. Multiple members of Maryville in the area. Spyrax looking to rejoin the team as UST certainly has control of the bot side right now. The question is, can they hold it? Maryville making a beeline toward this Baron, trying to bait UST to getting closer and closer. Fight in their territory.
Oh, doesn't quite land. Neither does the arrow, but Niles is in there.
Arrow doesn't land. Yeah, Trevor's going to be the target and going all the way in is Jarvan, keeping him trapped. Yuji is going to fall. Porsche is going to try to lead the charge, but Spyrax is still pretty healthy. So is Scary Jerry. Spyrax is cut off from the rest of the team. Trevor is low. Hook goes down, but Trevor gets blown up. It's a 4v4, and Kempy's not looking so hot.
And nobody was there to back up Trevor. Trevor was on a solo mission. Will be punished for it. Niles looking actively for the flank. And once again, it's UST on the run.
UST's got to try to find a way out. Spyrax does have his ultimate available, that Emperor's Divide. You know he can do a whole lot with it. Forcing away Porsches. Maryville now have control of the mid wave, and with the Dragon up, their jungler down, they are the ones that hold priority.
UG back on the map, Trevor up in 2, so Maryville will have more members there a little bit sooner, and you were saying this is critical for USC. They can't afford to lose this Dragon. MU, they're fine with losing it.
Robbie Bob teleports. Spyrax is lying in wait. Robbie Bob is anticipating him to go over the wall. Here comes Yuji. Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It's going to land flush onto Kendi.
Yuji again!
It's the soul secured for Maryville University, and everybody's got to run. Robbie Bob slides over the wall. Porsche is sent to the impound lot. It's 2-3 kills for Spyrax as Maryville University look toward the Baron.
Not quite kings, but somewhere above it. Maryville and Spyrax, the Emperor is there. Now hunting down Robbie Bob. He's juking, he's dodging, he goes down, and Robbie Bob is Robbie Pop.
Niles is the needle in the haystack. You cannot escape. He is going to be able to get a bottom turret on top of it as their pockets spilleth over. The kings of Collegiate have their wealth.
Baron, Genji, Baron buff picked up by Maryville. Infernal Soul picked up by Maryville. It's not quite the Elder, but this is as optimal as you're going to get at this point in the game. Maryville, once again, the mid game has been their playground. And these Kings of Collegiate, they haven't won CLOL just yet, but winning this, hey, that's effectively Kings at that point, right? They're beating the reigning champions.
Yeah, they are trying to ascend back into that godhood that we talked about earlier. They may need a Hercules-type training arc, but they didn't need it. Or they started the training arc early. It didn't matter. They have their demigod powers back. They are proving it on the Rift. An 8,000 gold lead at 26 minutes. UST getting choked out. RMC, where is the angle for them to come back and bring this game even again?
You know, I said before, there's a wombo combo there with Orin and with J4. And unfortunately, Porsche so far has not landed the Call of the Forge God significantly. I'm still looking for that. Trevor, though, making a good flank.
That's a good Hex Splash. They're going to try to hop onto Niles. Niles is getting very low, knocked up and will fall. But here comes Spyrax, making his impact known. He goes golden, because all you see is gold if you're Maryville. Down goes UST as everybody collapses. A quadra kill for Scary Jerry.
And with that, Maryville, they're just pushing in. They've got that Baron buff running. 30 seconds for UST's death timers. That's game, Yanni.
I think this is it, RMC. The death timers are just too long. The Kings of Collegiate will limp back to their throne. It has been a tough series, but they will sit and sigh contentedly as they take their kingdom to Boise and search for their third collegiate championship.
It's not an official crown just yet, Yanni. Maryville aren't officially the Kings of Collegiate just yet, but until they meet again, MU are the unofficial Kings of CLOL and Collegiate. And what a way to do it as well, Yanni. Let's not forget, this was not an easy run. It wasn't like Maryville 3-0 UST. It went down to the wire. It went down to Game 5. It went down to the reverse sweep.
It has been, oh man, this was crazy. It's more reverse sweeps everywhere. They're the third team to do it. The reverse sweep being a thing is old news at this point. But guess what? The news is Maryville is headed to Boise. They have locked their spot. They are looking for that third championship. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, a member of the winning team of Maryville University will be here with Odd Orange to talk all about how it happened. Don't go anywhere.
Awesome, baby. Yeah, that's it. What did I say, Dan? What did I... Let's go, Ryan!
Buddy. What up, big dog? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Look kind of short. I gotta put the seat up. You know, I'm doing good.
Hey, you're not short. We all know you're not short.
No, it feels good. Honestly, the emotions are not as high as when we reverse swept PSG. You know, it's not an elimination match. So you know, even when we were down 0-2, I was like, I guess no one was really stressed, but it feels great to like actually play some League of Legends because we were not playing League of Legends first 2 games. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the series to me it started in Game 3. That's when you guys were hitting them hard with the early aggressive picks. But I mean, how does it feel to potentially beat this team twice in 1 year?
Oh, dude, honestly, it would make up everything. They beat us twice past 2 years. Send them back from me to Boise. I will smack Borscht. Like he is the epitome of a homeless top laner. So once you stop, you can't be more homeless than him, right? So there's no tank versus tank in this house anymore. You just gotta pick something that'll carry, and I'm so confident that we will beat them if we meet them again.
Oh no, lucky for him too, as well as he gets to avoid a lot of those level 1 through 3 matchups, lane swaps, right?
No,
I mean, I feel like it would be even more brutal if it wasn't for that. But okay, let's look ahead a little bit because I want to ask you on each series coming up your prediction and why your prediction.
Yeah.
So let's start with the next series will be SLU versus Northwood. Give me a series score and why.
Definitely Northwood will take a game or 2. I think SLU will take the series, but when you watch SLU play and their matches, they just look like chokers. Like honestly, and I feel like Northwood actually has some like clutch moments and clutch plays from their players. I think they've been really clutch, so they can take a game or 2. I do think SLU will take the series, but I can see Northwood taking it. I think there's no way in my mind that that's a 3-0. Probably going to 5 games. That's
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be SLU.
Yeah.
I like your prediction. Okay, so then let's take it to the next level. SLU versus UST.
Well, we got to do Fisher. We got to do Fisher as well. We got to do Fisher and
Fisher left.
Oh, sorry, no, Northwood beat Fisher. What am I saying? Okay, yeah, okay, next level.
SLU, yeah, there's 4 teams.
Yeah, no, I got you. I got you.
Okay, so now we're going SLU UST. Imagine. Okay, so let's imagine SLU beats Northwood. SLU UST. Who would you favor there?
Like they are a SLU-like team with their jungle and their bot side, and there's a big difference at the top lane where I actually think like if Porsche finds good blind picks or they give him a counter tank matchup, that he'll be fine. Because I think SLU and UST are actually very, very similar. And last time the series broke hard for UST, and looking back on it, I see why after playing this team. This is the first time I played UST all year. I see why it broke so hard for UST, and I think it could break hard again unless SLU figures out like how to get a really good draft, and it has to be a Surdy show. I think if they're gonna take it. Yeah.
So what? Okay, I like that. It's a good prediction. I agree too. So UST looks us and UST, you guys and UST look similar to last year, which just kind of look like a cut above.
Yeah.
I'd say Maryville's still that one cut above because like you guys trolled drafts.
I don't know what we were doing, bro. I don't know what we were doing.
So do you think this year's UST is stronger than last year's, or do you think last year's was stronger, or do you think they're pretty much on par?
I think last year's was stronger. I think Shogo's better than Array, honestly. Like the way he was positioning in teamfights Array, I don't know. This guy was trolling. This guy was trolling big time. And then I think also jungler Dardoch was probably better than Kimby. Like actually, like I think he pressures the map better, and he like doesn't int as much. So I think honestly, like last year's UST was they were pretty strong. Looking back on it, Dardoch, like that's pretty good. The Shogun's pretty good. Yeah, so
their stage players are really
I think it's comparable though. I think I'd give last year's UST a little edge though, but it's
okay. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see you guys beat UST again.
Oh my goodness!
I just we gotta take those. I'm not gonna curse. Those mother effers.
I hate that team, bro. Like I don't hate any of the players on that team. Like I honestly like all the players on the team, but I hate that team. If you know what I mean. Like
I know
anyone could be playing for that team. I hate them, bro. Like I want to beat them again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. I guess final question for you. I mean, we're a room apart. You know what's on the celebration list for tonight? What are we doing, man?
We're going out with the boys. You know, get some bevies with the boys. Mia Sorellos, Katie's, you down, bro?
Oh, I'm
Katie's?
down.
All right.
Get,
Hey,
get,
we'll go to Katie's,
get a
bro.
couple brewskis,
Hey,
perhaps?
come on. Not celebrating because we haven't won anything yet, but just having.
Hey, is the job finished?
The job's not finished. The job's not done. We're not celebrating, but we're feeling good. We're feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah, not with the boys.
All right. Well, thank you, Aiden, for doing that interview, and we're gonna shoot it back to the casters, guys. Congratulations on the reverse sweep, bro.
Yeah.
Series, RMC, do you think we will see the same result if these teams were to face off once again?
I worry that we won't, because I'm going to be honest, despite the results being a 3-2 at the end, and it sounds and looks close, as the reverse sweep kept going, it didn't really look close. Maryville was coming online, and if they play the way they did today, I think Maryville might actually clean sweep, UST, if UST make it back to the grand finals. So, if the job's only half done, if UST make it back to grand finals, I want to see a stronger, better UST than what we saw today.
That is a bold proclamation, RMC, but UST is going to have to go through go through a team specifically to try and get there. Let's take a look at the bracket one more time. You see UST now down in the lower finals. They await the winner of SLU versus Northwood. You heard Odd Orange, you heard Niles. They think that SLU is going to move on to face UST, and they think that in Boise it will be a rematch of Maryville and UST one more time. And with that, we do have a bit of an upcoming schedule for you. Not sure if we actually have the graphic made. However, we will be here and next week covering these games. Northwood versus SLU, and then the winner of that match taking on UST for the right to go to Boise. You are not going to want to miss it. Clear your schedule because you know that I will be clearing my schedule to watch that series. We want to thank everybody who has donated to the GoFundMe to make all of this possible. 3 reverse sweeps in a collegiate championship that would have gone unviewed if it was not for viewers like you and if it wasn't for the efforts of Ole Miss and Gen G. Want to shout them out. And now it is time to start shouting everybody out who donated $100 or more. Barrento Muhammad, Garrett Meyerson, Benton Patterson, James Vandenbree, Gregory Adler, Polestar, Sandor Howe, Sean Shannon, Daniel Clarkey, Powell Wiseman, Manuel Sanchez, Brendan Collimer, Gordo Cast, John Harakitis, hey, I know that guy, Leo Silverman, Shivneet Sharma, Angie Fan, Gavin Hung, Nathaniel Brihani, Timothy Bui, Ian Ford, Kyle Upgamer, Ryan Teo, Aaron Lee, Alan Ignacio, Peter Erickson, Andrew Franklin, Tiffany Tran, Beverly Respico, Joshua Sides, and every single anonymous donor. Again, this would not have been possible without you, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for that. And that will do it for us here this evening. A fantastic best of 5 series that was ended with a Maryville reverse sweep victory. Thank you to Odd Orange for being here with us. Thank you to RMC for being my co-caster. Everybody behind the glass, Camcom, Hawk, Caddy, Karen Moser, Rare Adam, everybody was helped out, and every viewer watching at home. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you next weekend for some more CLOL action.